All right. We haven't done a video in a while, so we just thought we'd do one, talk about a couple items. The first off, I'm wearing my Donald Trump t-shirt, Make America Great Again. And of course, this is a bit of a joke. This was actually a t-shirt bought for someone else, and that the person did not want it, didn't want to have anything to do with Donald Trump, and I ended up getting it. So I thought, why not? It's political memorabilia, that's all it is. But since we're talking about Donald Trump, so the big news, of course, was the failure of the Health Care Act, his health care bill. The House didn't bring it to a vote because they didn't have the votes. A lot of people are making a big, this is a big failure for Trump, and this is the beginning of the end. No question that we're now, I think, the 67th day of his presidency, and this presidency is turning out to be what can only be called a Shakespearean tragedy, really. I mean, could William Shakespeare even have written a play about this presidency? It's crazy. But the thing is, you'll notice that after the bill, the Health Care Act, the American Health Care Act was pulled, and it didn't go to a vote in the House. Basically, it failed. Donald Trump was very serene. He was very calm. Uncharacteristically calm, unusually, rarely. He was like, he acted like a president almost. And I think what people forget is that Donald Trump really didn't care that the bill failed. He doesn't care about anything, okay? Donald Trump never expected to be president. He didn't expect to win the nomination. He didn't expect to be president. To him, it was all a game. And it's always been a game to him. He's a huckster. He's a fraud. And he never thought that the good chunk of the American people would be so gullible that they would vote for him. So, I don't think he cares about anything. He's not concerned about... Yeah, there's no question that Trump officials colluded with the Russians. I mean, that's becoming quite clear. As everyone knows, Vladimir Putin hated Hillary Clinton, and the Putin people wanted Trump in power, not Clinton. But Trump doesn't care where this goes. He really doesn't care. He doesn't care about anything. And I think people, need to know this, that they've got a president that really doesn't care about being president. I don't know if I don't think he'll be impeached. I think he just might leave one day. He just might say, screw it, I'm out of here. And I think that's it. I think that you really have to realize this is why, when everyone gets so worked about, whether it's his travel ban thing that's not working out, or the health care bill, or just the chaotic beginning to his presidency. Really, there's never been a more chaotic beginning to a presidency than this one. Clinton's was a bit chaotic, Carter's, but nothing compared to this. Anyways, we'll see where it all goes. If Trump campaign officials actually did collude with the Russians, it's not clear yet. It wouldn't be the first time that this sort of thing has happened. No question that Reagan campaign officials colluded somewhat with the Iranians to keep the hostages in captivity until after the 1980 election. And of course, we know what happened, the Iran-Contra affair. A lot of those allegations that turned out to be true. Even Jimmy Carter admitted that there was probably some collusion between the Reagan campaign officials and the Iranians. We know that Nixon played around with South Vietnam, the peace talks to help him get elected in 1968. So these things have happened. So we'll see where this all goes. And in terms of interfering in elections, of course, we know the Americans have interfered in lots of elections, and one of the reasons Putin hated Clinton is because he feels that she interfered with the Russian protests and with the protests in Moscow in 2011. So I'm rambling on here, and I want to make this a short video. But just remember, Donald Trump really doesn't care, and that's why all the stuff, the media attention, and all the chaos and all the controversy, he doesn't care. And I would be surprised if he plays out his term, because he might just get so fed up and just want to go to Mar-a-Lago, Now, let's talk about Trudeau. Very quickly, we'll end this on Trudeau. I think the Liberal brand is wearing thin. I think this elimination of the tax break on transit passes, on metro passes, says it all. They are so out of touch. They didn't realize how important this is for so many transit users in Canada, particularly in the big cities. Bill Morneau, the finance minister, said on CTV's Question Period that he didn't know what the cost of a transit pass was. He had no clue. I mean, Bill Morneau probably hasn't been on public transit in many, many, many years. He was almost like, I don't care. Like, the Liberals are becoming out of touch. I like to call him Justin Bieber Trudeau, because that still is Justin Bieber Trudeau. He likes to hang out with Ivanka Trump in New York, and he likes to vacation with the Aga Khan, and he likes the glamour of the job. But I don't think he really likes the nitty gritty of the job. And now he wants to not show up for question period as often and take questions. I mean, he's really becoming, I think, isolated. And I think a year and a half into the Liberal mandate, people are getting tired, and people are beginning to look fondly on Stephen Harper. You know, one thing about Harper, you could criticize. I mean, he was a bit nutty on a lot of things, but he wasn't into the glamour. He didn't like being in the spotlight, and I kind of like that, actually. And don't be wrong, I think Trudeau has played the Trump card well. Obviously, you know, Trudeau has handled the Trump presidency really well. I got him give him credit for that. You know, it's just like his dad handled the presidency of Ronald Reagan. He's handled it well. You know, I'm kind of speechless here, but I want to end this by saying I'll give him credit on that one. So I think I just wanted to end it on that. I think that the Liberals are becoming increasingly out of touch. They promised they love to say, you know, they like to say they're big environmentalists, go to Paris, sign these big accords, but the small things matter. And you know, if you want to get people out of cars, you got to get them on public transit. So this eliminating of the tax break on transit passes shows, are they really committed to the environment? And you know, it's the little things. It's the little things that add up that bring down your government. It might seem small now. Election's not a couple years away, but it's the small things that add up that people remember that on election day. And that happened to Harper, and that's happened to Trudeau. Anyways, that's it. This is probably not the best video, but I just thought I had some thoughts on the matter. So that's it.
Okay, perfect.